recovered from what was quite a big weekend of football. I just about have, and it's not over thanks to the bank holiday. Before I get into the film review, I want to say welcome back to the Don Rodman 3. I've linked to his channel down there. Some of you only know me because of him, because his channel's a bit bigger than mine, but it's been dormant for the last 4 or 5 months, and he's back. He's back, he's going to be doing stuff, so if you're into gaming, yeah, go and pop over and tell him that I said hello. Alright, okay, let's talk about the Amazing Spider-Man 2. This is the spoiler version, and there's only going to be one video. I'm going to do the non-spoiler version very quickly before you switch off and go and see the film if you're not looking for the spoilers. Yeah, go and see it. It's got some good things to it. The visual effects are excellent. It might even be on the Oscar list come the end of the year. The acting's pretty solid, relatively engaging, but it's not particularly well written. And now as I get into the spoilers, so you've buggered off by now if you're not looking at the spoilers. Yeah, cool. So now I can get into the spoilers and talk about exactly why I don't think it's very well written. Okay, here's the big spoiler warning. Ready? Let's go. So, I've mentioned that the visual effects are great, Electro looks good, and the acting's good. The chemistry between Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone is really good, it makes everything work. You know, Jamie Foxx is probably not right for the character, but that's down to the writing rather than him. I particularly like his performance in the first part of the film, before the writing lets him down. And the same can be said of Dane DeHaan and Sally Field. Actually, Aunt May, she's probably the one character who isn't let down by the writing, and she's excellent as well. What do I not like about the writing? Basically, the plot is incredibly contrived. It's hinging on many characters making uncharacteristic decisions, stupid decisions, just so that things can happen, so the plot can go a certain way. Right, so we've got Electro. He turns up scared in Times Square or something. I'm not a New York expert, and he gets set off on one just because a policeman can't follow orders and shoots him. Is that really necessary to make a good villain? I mean, we've started him out as this likeable character. He's just desperate for people to acknowledge him, and he turns into a villain because he's scared and a stupid policeman shoots him against the orders he's already been given, with Spider-Man clearly in control of the situation. This really. Then you've got the whole Harry Osborn thing. Oh, I need your blood, I need your blood, and Peter Parker says, well, no, what if it kills you? I mean, why don't they just talk about it? They're scientists, yeah? Why don't they just talk about the pros and cons, discuss it? I think the writers are just too lazy, and they think the audience will just go, oh yeah, obviously, I mean, I'm not clever enough about science, so I don't want to think about that, so I'll just go with that. But why don't they talk about it? Well, you know, Harry Osborn doesn't go into details about the disease that's killing him and why it's so important to him. Peter Parker doesn't talk about what he knows about the spider, or even if he doesn't want to give away his identity, he doesn't allow Spider-Man to communicate that to him, just so that they can have a falling out. Okay, and then rushing in with the injection of the spider venom, he just takes the sample and injects it straight into him. You know, he doesn't know if anything else has to happen first. That's not a very good decision to make, even if he's on the verge of death and desperate. I mean, he should have had a plan for, right, okay, what's going to go on with this venom? How can I use it? Then we've got Gwen Stacy. She's been given a clear message of how fraught with danger the situation is. Peter Parker makes it absolutely clear how serious he is, and she defies him anyway, so that's a bit ridiculous. Okay, that all works out fairly well in terms of defeating Electro, but an Electro, expert in electricity, allows himself to be defeated by a little fact that he must have known Peter Parker had to get from a little YouTube clip. Okay, fine, whatever. It just undermines his character. Everything about Electro undermines him. He's the victim the whole way through. He has no autonomy. He's just, even though he's supposed to be the main villain of the film, of all the antagonists, he's got the most screen time, but you don't hate him. You just think he's being played. He's just a pawn and used against everybody, and he never really gets to be himself. And he's portrayed as weak in so many ways, it just doesn't look like a villain. One thing I do like about it, though, is right at the end when Gwen Stacy falls to her death, and what kills her? She doesn't hit the floor, she just gets stopped very suddenly, decelerated to zero very, very quickly, like the web that's been sent to stop her from dying. And it's a physics thing that they got right, that a lot of films, and I'm thinking of Star Trek V in particular, get wrong. And Captain Kirk is falling to his death off El Capitan. Spock catches him at the last minute and suddenly stops him, hitting the ground, and basically decelerates him down to zero from his terminal velocity instantly, which should have killed him anyway. And in fact, it does kill Gwen Stacy. It kind of doesn't work from a physics point of view of how the web should suddenly be that taut when it catches her, but it's quite a good use of irony there. In trying to save her, he kills her anyway. The end scene, the emotion in that from Andrew Garfield is top notch. His performance is great. I don't really like the character he portrays when he's being cocky and twattish as Spider-Man, but he does play it very well. So if that's the kind of Spider-Man you want to see, then he's delivering it excellently, certainly. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. And I'll be talking to you from the DW Stadium in Wigan on Friday. Bye for now.